I guess in our work here, because we're removed from people, so we're trying to help, or especially my role is trying to help people through these very sort of, through societal change and through systems change, so that when they come in contact with different systems, that is a better experience for them.
Okay, so I have to translate for him the way that he can understand and work it, and it may slightly be different.
That's right.
She helped people because she see that around people do not have enough support. So if there's more people to support people with problems, it's better. And the method that she helped people is by changing the government, policy, government, people in the government. He understands the word government, but not system. So changing the government so that when people need something from the government, then they can have it.
And you? Why?
So I was living in another country for a while, and was supposed to be there helping people or serving people.
Where were you born? Where did you born?
I was born here, but after college I went to Mexico for a while. But while I was there, I discovered that it wasn't me who was helping anyone, that the people I was meeting who were supposedly the ones who were poor and without resources and without any care were the ones who were healing me and were helping me. And one of those people had lived in the United States, and when she would tell me stories about living here, I was struck by how much she hurt while she lived here. And when I left to go live there, I thought I would never come back here. I thought I didn't want to live in the U.S. because I was very angry at this country. But then after meeting those people and talking to them about their experiences, I felt that what I wanted to do was help people hurt less when they're here, and to change the community, change society, change the government, so that people had better lives if they were here where I was from.
She was angry at America before. She did not like America. She went to Mexico. And in Mexico, she met some people. People also did not like America. America hurt them. And so she wanted to go back to America to help America better. People less suffering.
And you?
Same idea, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how things translate. I think for me, I knew people and worked with people who I saw as really strong people and fighting, but I also saw them struggling and wondered why they had to fight so much when they were such strong people and were suffering and were overwhelmed often or dealing with things that I felt like if people could support each other, if our communities could be supportive places, if our government could be a supportive thing, that people really didn't need to be struggling and suffering in these ways, and that there was strength in them that was not being able to go forward and to do what it needed to do. And so I wanted to be a part of making people able to know what I'm even saying, to thrive and to feel good and to live good lives and be happy and be in a system and a community and a world where they would naturally be able to do that and not keep getting like knocked down repeatedly and pushed back and held down all the time.
And you?
I guess for me, kind of knowing the community that I come from, oftentimes, I guess, powerlessness is kind of taken in and internalized, or taken into your energy as the powerless energy, I guess. And just kind of knowing my position in life, I feel empowered. Sometimes I feel powerless, but I feel like I am empowered and just feel like I can, in a way, direct that energy to other people in my community that look like me and act like me, friends, families, whatever it may be, and to empower them. So, yeah, I'm sure. Sorry,
That's just a big concept.
I tried.
So he's like, he has friends, family, his hometown, many people cannot be strong. They have a suffering. So he wants to help them be stronger.
And you? Why did you need to do this work?
Why do you want to help people?
Want to help people?
I think probably similar to everyone here. There's a lot of reasons. We could probably talk a long time about the many things, but one big reason that led me here is I grew up in a family that I learned that like speaking for the voiceless is important, and social justice, like in general, is important. Many people helped my family when I was growing up through some very difficult times, and it was just understood that it was then my responsibility to also help people when they needed help. And so I tried different ways of helping people through my education and learning different things. I realized, like, okay, I want to help people, but not doing this. Maybe not doing this. Oh, okay, this is what I want to do. But in the end, it was always like, that's my responsibility.
So she's talking about, like, she see many people scared. Want something, need something, but cannot say it. Cannot say it to people to know because so scared and feel very weak. Like cannot go out and say it, feel very scared. So she want to help them stronger, no more scared, no more fear in society.
Very good lesson, everyone. That we can see.
I want to know why you do the work, Huang.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I'm curious because I don't think I've ever asked you that. And I don't know if you've talked about it.
Not really.
No?
I come to learn with him. I'm always like, his time is precious. I need to know everything about him. He doesn't need to know anything about me.
Yes.
But she wanted to know why I want to help people.
What?
Oh.
He does want to know.
I think now I do believe that there is such a thing as mission in life and calling and kind of being chosen, so to speak. I wonder all the time, like, why I was born in a small town in Vietnam. Nobody knows social work. Nobody know anything in North Vietnam, not even South Vietnam. Communist, hardcore. Nobody go to the U.S. Why is it that I go all the way here to the U.S. and learn social work and actually become the first person in Vietnam with a PhD in social work and doing a lot of that? But growing up, I saw a lot of people around me in my neighborhood. Like I see men getting drunk, beating wives, stuff like that, and I always think, why do they do that? People doesn't seem to be happy. And so I think there's something very wrong with the way the world is going. And so I used to believe that, okay, maybe if I get more education, then I will understand, and then I can help. I can solve the problem. And so that's why I learned. I went to the best college in Vietnam, and after that, I thought, not enough. I need to go to America with the best education in the world to learn more, so that I can learn more. But I think even after I learned that, with more education, with one, I got my bachelor's degree in economics, because I thought, well, money is important. Maybe poverty is why people are suffering. I went into economics, and then I thought, no, it's not money. Then I thought, well, maybe it's about the thought control, because Vietnam is communist, and the media kind of control everything. So I went into and got a master's degree in mass media, and I said, not that. And then I went into social work. I said, maybe I have to do something real with the community. So I went and got the second master's degree and the PhD in social work. And then I said, this is just only the surface. Technical stuff only cannot touch people's heart and mind. Because I do believe that you can have all the technical things in the world, but if you cannot touch deep down into people's heart, you cannot change them. No way. And so, and if we don't understand our mind, them people's mind, you cannot either. You can only do things on the surface and they relapse right back. And then at that point, I was quite successful in Vietnam as a fiction writer. I had many best-selling books, sort of famous. Being a professor in America, which is rare, very rare for a woman from Vietnam going here. I mean, for people in Vietnam to see me. But I was also married, not happy. And then I got divorced, which is also very rare in Vietnam. And then I had other kind of spiritual experiences in which I saw ghosts at night, invisible beings. And that started me to question, I really need to know the truth about the world. And it seems like what we see, the visible world, first of all, everything doesn't seem to be the way things are. I need to find out the truth, because I do things that only when you know that, it sets you free. When you only know half-baked truth, you cannot. You can cope with it, but you cannot uproot it. You cannot set yourself free. So that is for me, but then I think once I struggle through that and I see that, wow, around me a lot of people maybe can, and then that's how I am more motivated to help people. But same idea, Papa.
What idea, Papa? Cannot
But
copy.
I mean same as them. Same as them. Want to help. Less suffering.
If we can bring energy inside and attach any energy inside, and when we want to help people, we share energy at first, and after that we use that, have good thought for them, easy for help. You can help people one day, many people, a lot of people, little bit eat, little bit sleep, but you can strong all time. No have tired, no have feeling turn back to you. Sometimes we help people, but we many people come for help, will be have feeling inside. Try it. Some people make you little bit angry because they suffer and talk not smooth, and the author feedback to you will be feeling and suffering come to you. But if you can use this power all time. Sometimes when I stay in the temple, I do work. I no eat, no sleep. 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, still do work, but still have strong and fun. Many times people stay with me or nearly me can see me. Oh, Papa, do you not yet to eat? Never mind. Papa, you not yet to sleep? Yeah, never mind. Sometimes they sleep and on the morning still see me do work. Papa, why you wake up soon today? Not wake up soon, not yet to sleep. Huh? Really? Yes. Many rounds, 2 days or 3 days, but still talk with people, teach people by smile and laugh and do work, building, cook food, and the author strong and fat. Some same sleep and eat enough, because energy inside. Important is balance energy. Balance energy.
Energy from
Balance energy. If balance energy you can bring on, your body, your mind will be okay. That we know about mind, and we can know mind is thinking or feeling. Oh, feeling is mind. Thinking is mind. We want. I don't know. But mind is some energy, can change form, can transform to good or bad, to share or receive, can almost. This energy or this mind from normal mind. If up more is the nature balance mind. If up more natural balance mind. If up more is empty mind. If up more is beyond mind. If up more is Nibbana. For it also for not come to born again. But I need to give from to beyond mind only. Benefit for balance the nature mind is for help our mind, our self, for can to be balanced all time. Body balance, inside balance. Everybody have 4 type of time.
Papa, maybe I need to translate for
Okay.
for them to follow. So he's saying that if you, we define mind, right, the mind as many things. And I think we still kind of don't know what mind is, right? We argue a lot. What actually is mind? So, but even when we don't know what it is, and we know that we tend to think that, okay, thinking is at least a representations of mind, right? We can identify mind is thinking, the mind or the mental is feelings, and we know that that is an energy. If we cannot see it in visible form, right? It's energy, and this energy we can change. So, but in order to do that, first of all, then we have to have that in us, so that we can change for other and adjust for other people. So our mind, we can help it to progress. Now, if it progress on the way, that it will get to Nibbana, and that is actually the state of no mind. No mind, and that means you do not come back again, escape that cycle of birth and death. But right now, we have the normal mind with many, thinking and feelings. But if you let it progress naturally with some practice, then you get back to the natural balanced mind. In our natural state, our mind is actually balanced. So we get to that, and then if you practice more, then if you go to empty mind, your mind is empty, and empty not in the clinical DSM-5 sense of like I'm just I'm just do not have a capacity of feeling and thinking, not that, but it's empty in the sense of like you do not give meanings and dichotomies and like and dislike and all that. Empty mind, and then if you move more than that, then it's beyond mind, and then if you furthermore you get to Nibbana or Nirvana, and that is sort of high level of Dharma, which he only teach when he see people's mind have progress there, right? But for people who are saying right here is when we have the normal mind, then he teach to get to the empty mind, because with empty mind is where you can start helping. Helping with the energy of emptiness.
Normal mind, when you have need, have hope, and you follow feeling inside that normal mind. All people use normal mind all the time. have need, have target, have hope, and follow target, follow need. I want to have this, I want to have that. One, need. And when angry, sad, or scared, and all the feeling come on, then follow and stuck in that. That called normal mind. But if time you have it inside, you look everything is the same. You look another people same. You look the chair, look the tree, look the stone, look wood, same you, and you look everything is the same, not different. Just one thing in the nature. That balance the nature mind. If inside of you that time, no have wrong, no have right, don't lie and dislike, don't follow lie and dislike inside. That called empty mind. But if sometimes you have it, let it be. Have something with you and you look something or have effect with you, have problem, have event with you, good or bad. Okay, never mind whatever. But you think about it, let it be. No one keep comforting. No one keep comforting. Let it be, let it be. That call beyond mind. That call beyond mind. Then normal mind, I don't need to let you use it. Because many suffer will come to you if you use normal mind. When you start with feeling sad, angry, and the author sleep and eat not delicious. Suffer all time. You watching TV, you go to supermarket and the author, the ocean, or travel, no happy if you use normal mind. But if you use balanced mind, that time you will be smooth with everything. Even around, people say bad or good to you, you will smooth. Don't follow that. Still smooth all time. But if you use empty mind, the better or benefit of empty mind. Empty mind can help you touch people feeling. Another people can know, oh, that people, what feeling come on, they can see faith. If angry, if happy, if sad, same this. But if you use empty mind for touch feeling of people, not just to you not about can see faith only, but you can feel inside. When you see people or see anyone, you can feel inside. What suffer of them, what feeling of them, you can feel. But if you need to help people, you must to use beyond mind. Why? Because when you use beyond mind, you over them feeling. If you use empty mind, that feeling can flow to you. And you receive it inside. That time you don't know, because you need to help only. Inside need help. And after you heal done and free time, that feeling you receive will be have effect with you. It will be grow inside of you. Might use beyond time.
Does it make sense? Maybe a little. So he's saying that, if I can clarify, he's saying that most of us use the normal mind, right? The mind which is a normally the analytical mind. There's a mind that is have right and wrong, like in this life, right? And we have a lot of habits, and we have thinking and feelings. And normally when we see things, or when we hear things, or when we read things, for example, right? Our mind immediately react on that, and then we follow, and we are very attached to idea of like and dislike or right and wrong, and we don't even know that. And so we are always follow and chasing things on the outside. So with the natural balanced mind, then you do not kind of go outside and follows anymore, but you stay calm all the time, and you see everything as kind of the same with you. And so because of that, you do not have a judgment anymore. So you will always be calm and smooth, and you see everything as like part of the nature. Everything is like, okay, tree or stone or people, the same. So then and same as you as well. So then you can see same, but you still say this is tree, this is stone, this is me, this is you, but I do not judge, kind of. So that's kind of natural balance mind. When you get to the empty mind, is when you get rid of the dichotomy of good and bad, like and dislike, and identifying, giving meaning and importance to things, meaning as like socially constructed meanings that society has defined. And so when you are empty, the thing is when you use empty mind, then it's like you are totally open and very clean. Your mind is so open and clean and still, and because of that, you can feel what people have in their mind, can reflect the true picture into you, and that is how you can understand what people have, what thinkings they have, what feelings they have at that moment, right? So when somebody comes to you, you can feel that even when people do not show things visible for you. Because most of us, when we know someone is angry, only when we see their face is angry, or their face is sad, or their face, or if they're happy, they smile. You need symbols, right, from outside to know. But because our mind is already busy, and we have habits, and we have, identifiers for them. But if we have empty mind, even when they do not show these symbols like smile or something, like you can know and you can read their mind and thinking and know where they are and what problem you have. But that empty mind is like you put your mind same as them, so that you can feel it. What problem and feelings they have, we use the word empathy, right? Sympathy, empathy. You can feel that. But if you keep it that way, then you can get their feeling in. You can feel their feeling, and at that time you feel like, oh, I'm very, I feel your suffering, and so I want to help you. But then after that feeling will stay with you, and if you don't know how to solve it, then it will grow with you over time, and that's how we get stress and burnout. So you can use empty mind to understand and kind of assess. But in order to help, you have to move on to the beyond mind. Because beyond mind is when you remove already from that, you're above. So you can still know and see, but you are not attached and be like stuck with that, and then you can help.
All the time and every day, when we go to the market, go to the restaurant, go to office, company, or go to hospital, we use all mind. Sometimes we use normal mind, sometimes we use black nature mind, sometimes we use empty mind, sometimes we use beyond mind. But we don't know benefit of that level of mind. Mind still have level, not only one level.
So we say the mind has these different levels, so to speak, because when he teach higher, he will tell me that was but he said that, right? Like, mind has different level, not just one. And actually, every day when you drive or when you go to the office, you walk, you tap into these things at different moments, and you don't know that, but you don't know you're doing it.
The same people have bad event, and then remember, and then stuck in that remember in that event. You try to tell, try to speak, try to say many things, for they can forget, can live off that remember. But if you use balance the nature or empty mind and share to them, easy for them can forget.
So he's saying that, like, for example, if people have a trauma before and they are stuck in the memory of that, they keep thinking, have that memory over and over again, and they are stuck in that memory, and they come to you and they tell you stories, right? And then you do counseling, but normally by talking, rationalizing, doing this and that. But if it is still with feelings and thinking from the normal mind, then you can do many things, but it will be very difficult for people to get out of that bad memory, because you're still helping them with the normal mind, which is with thinking and feeling from you. But if you can tap into the empty mind and you help them with that energy, the energy from emptiness, then it's much easier to help them to rid themselves of those traumatic events or bad memories.
And example, when them come to meet you and tell the story and say many things, that time you just clear feeling inside. If have feeling about mercy, about the author come on with them, you just no matter follow and just explain inside that time. Don't start with thinking, don't start with feeling, and no have mean with that event. If them tell you and you have mean and have feeling, no good, that no good energy will send to them, and them still have no good, cannot live bad thing that. But if them share no good event to you, and you explain inside no have mean with that, and share. If when you know have mean, inside will be clear to empty. And them tell, but you share empty. For clearly inside of them, share. Until you, now I don't have to tell you, I forget. But now I need that. Oh, the author, they can tell you.
So he was saying that when people come to you and tell, then the first thing you can do is you clear yourself, you tap into that energy of emptiness by expanding, not focusing on them. I think we are normally trained to like really focus and listen, right? Listen attentively. But I think in this practice I learned, you actually expand by not focusing, but you still are aware of everything. And so you not focus, and then you listen to them, you clear yourself, you expand, and then you send that energy of emptiness and clarity and no judgment and expanding to